Good morning, brothers and sisters in Messiah. I'm back again. I've got a string of dreams and visions that God gave me a long time ago, and still now and then, which are down in a book. And one of them were Runaway Train. And I was sharing this with some friends, and a dear friend of mine asked me to make a video about it. So I'm going to make a video about it. And this dream I had in April 2015, that's a long time ago. And as I see some of the stuff that God showed me in a dream coming into play already, it's alarming to me, and the things that still have to happen that was in the dream. If God has made half of the dream already come true, then the other half must come true as well, because God doesn't do things halfway. He does it in full measure. So before I tell you the dream, let's just pray. Thank you, Abba Father, for blessing your children with dreams and visions, like you said in Joel, that this will happen in the end times, that the old men will dream dreams and the young men will see visions, Father. And I thank you that you have bestowed this on me also, Father, but I don't want to be one of those who are just speaking out without your consent and without you just speaking through me. So I ask Ruach HaKodesh that you will speak through me, that every word that I say will be from you, Father, not from me. I am your humble servant, Father, and I lay my hands in your hands. Father, I come against all evil spirits, all demonic presence, all interference from the enemy, and I bind their works in the mighty name of Yeshua. Father, I ask that you will enfold us in the canopy of your Ruach HaKodesh, of your precious blood, Yeshua Mashiach, so that we will be sanctified through you, Father. And I ask that you would just protect us, for me and my family, and also for the people, your watchmen watching also, Father. I ask for a supernatural protection in these last days. Father, I ask that you will open our ears for your spirit, Father, and that you will close it for the enemy. I ask that you will open our eyes to see what you want us to see, but it will be closed for the enemy. I ask, Father, that you will lay on our hearts what we need to share with others, Father, so that they also might come into the knowledge of who you are. Father, I pray that everybody that will just come into the fear of the Lord. So many people have lost the fear of who you are. Father, you're a loving God, but you're also a holy God. You ask us to be holy, to live a holy life. And I ask, Father, that you will just put that fear of who you are back in your children, Father. Thank you, Father, and I ask that you would just bless this moment with all the brothers and sisters in Messiah, and that they will just come to a deeper knowledge of who you are and just grow more in love with you each and every day. I pray in the name of Yeshua. Amen. Okay, this dream I had about the runaway train was the 14th of April 2015. I'm just going to read it as I penned it down at that time. I will go, as I read through it, I will stop and just tell you the meaning of the things, the symbolism that was given inside this dream. I will also tell you at the end. Maybe I should just read the dream first and then tell it in the end for you. Okay, let's go. Runaway train, 14th of April 2015. Again in the early hours of the morning, Elohim gave me a dream about stowaways on a train. This train were running in overdrive through the earth. Every terrain we went through were in chaos, and mostly or partly burnt to the ground. One plane we went through, I saw a mother and a young child in a car, which were broken down. It was in an accident. The door was broken and bent beyond repair. Further down were a shack and a board in front of it, saying, "Looking for car doors." Two creatures came out of the shack. I couldn't make out if they were human or not, but I could pick up their nature. It was murderous. I wanted to shout out to this woman and child to get out of there, but I was on a train that was running steamiously in overdrive forward. In a split second they were gone. In front, looking out at the train, I saw the tracks in front of the train as we made a bend. It looked like there were big canyons at either side of it, and fire rose from it. We were going through a plain that was still burning, as if still burning from an oil explosion, and the oil just hasn't stopped burning yet. We stopped at an old half-burnt down station. There were a few people with me, all with cast-down and worried faces, all insecure and without direction. I climbed out and carefully, without being seen, slipped next to the station. While we were on the train, I remember seeing something in the sky with huge wings through the smoke clouds. It was a bluish-purple color. I couldn't make out what it was. A hunter came down on this dragon-like beast with a huge sword in his hand and a rope around 2 elephant-like creatures, half the size of the man. One's trunk was gone, revealing 4 round tubes underneath. I remember it really disgusted me. As the hunter struck his sword to the other elephant, it let out a very high-pitched, very loud sound, and the dragon burst into pieces before the hunter's sword silenced the elephant. I slipped away into a building, which looked like the ruins of what could have been once a skyscraper of flats. Inside there was a lady with a weapon fighting off demon-like creatures. We went into a room. She was dressed in white and gold, a kingly warrior. Then I saw myself at what I thought was a teenager's birthday party, but instead I saw this woman with a booklet, asking the kids questions about the structure of the earth, the landscape on which we all are living on right now. They are not here because they need to write exams. They are here because they want to. They need to know how the earth looked like, where it's safe. I remember asking them after taking the book from the teacher, as she was not up to date with the latest events, and me being on the train saw about all the planes. A question was raised: which country is next to a certain land, which I can't remember the name of, which was burned down completely. The answer was Great Britain, and I saw a map of the country, and it was as if Great Britain were just bursting up into flames. That was my dream. Now I'm just going to interpret most of it as Father has already laid stuff in my heart from 2015, and I've got some revelation also yesterday about it. Okay, the revelation of the dream. Every terrain we went through were in chaos and mostly or partly burnt to the ground. The end time events in Revelation during the tribulation after the church is raptured in Revelation 6:12 to 17, Revelation 8:6 to 13, Revelation 9. One plane we went through where a mother and young child in a car were broken down. The 2 creatures were fallen angels who were let loose during the end times. This child, a woman and child, I wanted to warn, but I couldn't because I was on this train. You won't be able to warn them because this is things happening in the future where you will not be. This is what God said to me. As this part really, it broke my heart because I couldn't warn this woman with a child. So he said to me, you won't be able to warn them because this is things happening in the future where you will not be. It is a glimpse of the tribulation. By your writing and teaching, you can help those left behind to be strong and persistent in their faith to overcome. Okay, so in front of the train, I saw all these tracks bent, and it was like oil explosion, and that was still burning. In Ezekiel 38 and 39, in Israel, we read that all the countries will come against Israel, and there will be a huge explosion that will keep the oil burning for a very long time. Okay, so now the next part is we stopped at the station, and I came off the station, but inside this train were worried faces, and some of these faces were people that were with me in ministry. I was part of War Against Drugs Ministries. I've been part of it for 10 years. And there was a season coming to an end. And that was also a sign for me for this season is coming to an end. At the end of 2015, December 2015, God abruptly told me that the ministry's doors are closing, the season are over, and I have to hand everything over. I was sad for a while because it was part of me, it was part of who I am, and I had to let the keys go. So just after that, he blessed me with a wonderful business called YHM Faith Gear, and a new commission to awaken the bride of Christ. And I've been on this for a year now, and it's amazing. And I must say it's better for my soul as well, because working with drug addicts every day, it takes a part of your soul away. Okay. But enough about that. That was just the part where I had to climb off the train. I wasn't going on the train. That was just a little part that God He was just preparing me for a train stop. Okay, but now this bluish purple dragon that I saw, there is a story in Korea about a blue dragon and a black dragon. The folklore goes something like this, that this black dragon came from heaven and he wanted to be worshipped. And he told the villagers that they must bring must bring food to him and everything to worship him. And then after a while, this wasn't good enough for him. He wanted the children. So they had to go sacrifice the children. So they prayed to their gods, and the gods sent them a blue dragon, which conquered the black dragon. So there's this blue dragon that I saw in my dream. And another confirmation that it is Korea, because Japan also got a blue dragon. But another confirmation that I think God gave me that it was really Korea was that there's a coin, North Korea specifically, brought out, which is named the Blue Dragon. So we are to do with the dragon being North Korea, and the hunter that's sitting on this dragon is Russia, because Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, is also being called the hunter. Okay, so now these two elephants were a puzzling piece to me, because I went and searched elephants, and I came about the Indian elephants and Arabia and all these, and it just didn't make sense, because I couldn't place Russia and Korea with India and all those other places. It just didn't make sense. So I went and searched a little bit deeper, and I came across Syria's got they've got a bomb that is called the elephant bomb. And when this bomb is being shut off, it makes a howling, screeching sound. It is not so much as reaching their target, but it's a psychology bomb that they send off because of the noise and the screeching sound and the howling sounds that it makes. And it fits perfectly with these two elephants that they've showed here. Russia and Korea, if we look at the news right now, they are in cahoots together. Russia bombing Syria and Damascus, the two elephants. It just makes sense. And if all this has already come to pass since 2015, the rest of it, I honestly think will also come to pass. God has never showed me something in so much detail and did not come to pass. So our God is not a liar. And when he says he will show his people, will he show first before he's going to do it. And this is just one of those things that he has already shown. So there's another piece of this puzzle, the kingly warrior that was dressed in white and gold. I still don't know what that is, but I know that God will he will show us. So this teenage birthday party thing that I also saw there, as I was asking Father, what does this mean? He said to me, My children who will hunger for the truth in the end times will have secret meetings to learn more how to equip them for the battle in the end times. Although you won't be physically there, the words I lay on your heart will be. So, this is all written in a book, which is in a PDF file for everybody who wants it, along with all the other ones. But I also, a very sad part of this, because my husband's got family, which is also now my family, in Great Britain. And if all the other things have already, some of them come to pass, this will also be, that Great Britain will be completely destroyed. So this is, I think it's a very difficult video for me to make because my heart is breaking at the moment. But if this can help anybody out there, I pray that it will, and that God will just bless you, all the watchmen. And I'm asking that you keep your lamps full, that you be ready when our Messiah returns. And if you haven't met our Savior yet, there's no time like the present. I was talking to a friend this morning, and I was a drug addict for a very long time. When Yeshua came to save me, I've been a child of the Most High for 11 years now, and been clean for 11 years now. And the thing that He showed me to just keep me on the right track was one of the first visions He showed me. It was an open vision, and I saw Him hanging on the cross. And He showed me how they pulled Him down. And as they pulled Him down, being an old ragged cross, not smoothed out like wooden furniture is, not smoothed out at all. And His body being broken down with all the bones from the thing that they whipped Him with. Some of the pieces of His flesh were still stuck on the wooden cross when I took Him down. So I asked Him, Yeshua, why are you showing me this? And He said to me, my child, I'm not only going to show you the good things, but also things that's not nice to look at. I accepted that, and that was what kept me clean. Because my lifestyle that I had before for Him was horrible. And He came and He did that for me, not deserving any of His grace or any of His mercy. But He did that for me. And if He had done that for me, an outcast of society, then He can do it to any one of you. So if you haven't received Yeshua Mashiach yet, open your heart to Him and let Him in. And let Him come and wash you clean with that precious blood of His that was shed for you. I leave you in peace, brothers and sisters. Shalom.